Well, LinkedIn has a lot of really good free courses about digital marketing.
LinkedIn Learning, right?
LinkedIn
yeah,
Learning,
that's true.
exactly.
Yeah,
They're 45-minute videos, right? Like something like this is more than enough for you to get started in digital marketing. The most important thing is to have, a terms and conditions page that lays out exactly how in what terms you're going to be using their data and how you're going to be storing them.
Who is going to read that?
They don't read it, obviously.
Hi, Diego. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Rinkal. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm absolutely fine. And first of all, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to come over the podcast. It's been a long time to meet you. And I think I told you before some months that, Diego, I'm going to invite you for the podcast. Yeah. And finally, the day is here. So are you excited?
Of course, yeah. I remember the very first time you mentioned it to me, the podcast. I'm like, I'd love to do a podcast. I've never been on one. This is my very first one.
Oh, yes.
But very excited. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm super glad to have you here. And let me just tell you that what we are going to do in this podcast. In this podcast, we would like to know something about digital marketing agency, what you are running, specifically digital and media marketing, what you are doing, if I'm not wrong, right?
Of course.
So our viewers would love to know that how this market is doing and is it good to get into this industry and what are the challenges they can face and how they should run ad campaign and what are the awareness they should be aware of.
Yeah, what should they know?
So would you like to answer all those questions?
Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of questions at once, but definitely, yeah.
Okay, so that's lovely. So my first question, Diego, is digital marketing agency is a huge market, okay? And also crowded, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Everybody now just wants to become digital marketer. Yeah. Right? So how is this industry doing globally and also especially in North America as well?
Yeah, and that's a good question. In terms of how the industry is doing globally and how everybody wants to be marketers, I think that everybody should have a good knowledge of digital marketing space, right? Because if your business is not in digital marketing, you're losing out in, big time, right? Because nowadays everybody's on social medias, search engines, right?
Yes, that's true.
So I believe that, you should have at least a very basic knowledge as to, how social medias work, what is the search engine, But when it comes to digital marketing agencies, right, it's best to outsource these type of things, right? Because if you're already in an industry in providing a service, right, you want to be sure that you're the best at providing that service, right? But when it comes to actually advertising that service and getting more clients for that, I suggest to actually go to a professional or someone that knows about digital marketing already, that's been in it for a couple of years, right?
Oh, yes.
Because that way they can get the best results to their business, right? But having a general knowledge is definitely a must. Yeah.
Is a must, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So what you're trying to say is if any professional who has a couple of years experience in digital marketing, right?
Yeah.
We should always go to that person because that person probably knows the market in and out, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now another question is coming to my mind because I have come across a lot of people who have issues with their mindset or they have a bad experience with some kind of agencies that when they go to them and they just think that I will get the business after doing digital marketing agency. And I know some of the digital marketing agency tells us that it's not a one-time task. When you do it consistently, you get the result, right? Yeah. That's what they are saying, that not in the first time you're just running a lead generation campaign and you're getting leads and you're going to get business. It's not going to happen, right? So how do you deal with this kind of clients?
Yeah. And we have seen that the thing is that, in the digital marketing area, there is now a lot of gurus or people that say, that they say that they know so much, they will make you so much money, whatever it might be, right? But in reality, it's all about, even if they do know, it's about, as you mentioned, persistent and consistency about, the marketing efforts that they do, right? So, I believe that there's not such a thing as, overnight success or
absolutely
overnight
I agree.
Getting all the business in the world, right?
True.
And there's marketing agencies that are extremely good at what they do. There are others that say that they're really good but don't really know what they're doing, right? So, you have to be really careful in terms of who you choose to go with, right? Like do your research in terms of like, whenever you're choosing a marketing agency, but then also not base it off, it's been a week and I haven't gotten any results, That's why I come back also to, you should have some basic knowledge of it to try to understand what's going on, right? Like what's right, what's wrong, like are they even doing anything correctly, right?
Correctly, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because even, the customers and clients also need to check the campaigns when any agency or any freelancer is running a campaign for a client should also keep watching that campaigns or not. What do you think?
Well, I don't think the clients have to be watching the campaign in specific, right? They have to obviously have a knowledge of what the campaign is.
Okay, right.
Right, because it's their business at the end of the day, and that's the image that the agency is putting out there, right? So they have to be aware of what's going on in the campaign. But when it comes to, understanding the ins and outs of, is the campaign performing? Why is the campaign performing or why it isn't?
Yeah.
That I would leave to the professional, to the marketing agency, right? Like because you hired them to do this for a reason.
To do this, yeah, of course. It's their job to do.
Exactly. But when it comes to the numbers, that's something that, you should always know about, like where's my budget going, right?
True, yes.
Yeah, so that's very important as well. The marketing agency should definitely give you feedback on, is the budget I'm spending this much, what's my return on investment, up like more than anything, but then also what is my reach, how many people am I, getting interested in my service or product, whatever it might be, right?
Very true, yeah. That's brilliant actually, that everyone should be aware of their campaigns. At least they should have a general knowledge about the digital marketing or the ads they are running. They should know that where their budget is going.
Exactly.
And whether it is giving a result or not. So if they want to have a general knowledge about this industry or specifically social media marketing or SEO, search engine optimization, the small courses there are many people are running online.
Yeah.
So what do you think about them? Should we go for those courses and have just general knowledge about that marketing?
Yeah. And that's a good question, because nowadays everybody, as I said, the gurus, everybody has their courses, thousands of dollars on courses, right?
True, yeah.
And again, as I mentioned, I think that, if you have a business, right, and you're already providing a service, let's say you're an accounting firm, right? You provide accounting, and that's your specialty, right?
True.
I don't think that you should go ahead and purchase a $2,000 course for digital marketing, right?
True.
If that's first not what you got in for and not what your business focuses on, right? Well, in this case, I would say, like, for example, LinkedIn has a lot of really good free courses about digital marketing.
LinkedIn Learning, right?
LinkedIn
Learning,
that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're 45-minute videos, right? Like something like this is more than enough for you to get started in digital marketing.
True.
LinkedIn, YouTube has very good videos as well. Like first go for the free resources, right? Because you don't need a very deep
because that's our specialty. You are not going to do business into that industry. It's just for your knowledge, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So if you want to learn about digital marketing or have a basic knowledge on it, I would say go on YouTube, go on LinkedIn, and look for, social media marketing, how to understand it, or, lead generation if that's something that your business needs, how basics, right? Foundation.
Basics,
not very
right.
No need to go very deep into it, right?
That's correct. That's correct. Okay, that's a brilliant answer. So anybody who wants to learn about digital marketing, generally, you should go for free resources first, as Diego is actually advising us. So LinkedIn Learning is a great option. Another is the YouTube videos. You can go for it. How do you decide to protect the data? Many customers must be having that in mind that, there should be a protection to my data.
Yeah.
So how your agency is working towards that? Do you take any specific strategical steps to protect it?
Yeah, and that's a good question. I mean, we use right now most of our campaign work and ad strategy is through Facebook ads, right? So what we do is obviously we comply first with Facebook ads
Perfect.
rules and policies,
Right.
but then also with Canadian and US policies as well, right? Whenever we work with our partners.
True.
And the most important thing is to have, a terms and conditions page that lays out exactly how in what terms you're going to be using their data and how you're going to be storing them.
Who is going to read that?
They don't read it, obviously, but you gotta comply and have it, right?
Okay, right.
Nowadays, so many people, right? Like all you can do is go in ChatGPT as people go terms and conditions. Write me a terms and conditions page.
Yeah,
right?
and they just put it
writes
there.
for you. Yeah, exactly. Right, but it's really important to make sure that you're complying with it, because if not, your business can get shut down like that, right?
Yeah.
So having a privacy policy page as well as a terms and conditions page are basically the ways, and laying out there how the data will be used, how it will be stored, if you're going to be selling it to third parties, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, because I know that companies can be, shut down overnight. I had that seen that one of the company who was US based, and they did a wonderful job, and they were earning massive amount of money.
Oh, yeah?
They were printing monies,
Okay.
and suddenly I think in 2018 or 19, I don't know the year, because I read this story years ago. So suddenly Facebook came up with some another rule or compliance, and in the morning these owners of the company came to know that their page on Facebook was gone.
Yeah.
They had to shut down the company.
Yeah.
So this kind of things happen. But even if you have just accepted the terms and conditions, still this can happen?
Yeah. Yeah, this can still happen. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why you should, there are a couple of steps here, right?
Okay.
I mean, big companies that have big budgets on, multiple platforms.
True.
Should be taking, steps prior to just spending a lot of money, right? For example, having multiple ad accounts, because sometimes some of them get banned, right?
True.
And being in multiple platforms, right? So you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to spread your budget so you don't rely only in one, right? So for example, if Facebook shuts you down and your business is shut down just because you're only on Facebook,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
You're done, right? So what you have to do is spread around or if you're only going to have your business in Facebook, make sure that you have, multiple Facebook pages that you can fall back on, as well as multiple ad accounts that you can fall back on, right? And this is for people that are spending, tens of thousands of dollars daily, right? That's when you should really start considering, going into YouTube ads and not only Facebook ads, going into, putting some of the budget into Snapchat ads, for example, right?
True, yeah.
Like not only relying on, even though Facebook might bring you the best results, right? You should make sure that you are, prepared if Facebook decides to shut you down, because, it can happen at any moment, realistically.
Any moment, yeah.
Exactly.
That's a little bit scary.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
You should always have a backup plan, I think so, in this industry.
Yeah, and it's happened before. I mean, as I said, for that e-commerce store that I used to work with, we used to sell health and wellness products in the UK. We actually failed in US, and that's why I brought it back, because the US market was very difficult to penetrate there. So we just focused on the UK.
Yeah.
And we were spending at that time $10,000 a day on ads. And one day Facebook just decided to shut down.
Ooh.
We spent a whole week without any sort of income, which really hurt the whole company, right? Because Facebook just decided that, one of your ads do not comply with policy, I'm going to shut down your whole account, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and that's what we learned. Okay, let's have multiple accounts just in case, right?
That's true, yeah, exactly. That's interesting, yeah. That's a good idea and good suggestion that you should have a multiple accounts if you are running a business only on Facebook, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Only through Facebook or social media. That's a great idea, yeah.
Totally.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
So how does Canadian government support this kind of social media marketing agency?
Yeah, I mean, the Canadian government, there's definitely out there many opportunities and benefits that the government gives out. And at this point, this is not something that I've looked in personally much into.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay.
And my business is specific, but it's all about going out and searching for these, right?
True,
Because I
right,
know that
right.
there are grants that the business
Yes.
does. They definitely help with mentoring programs, right?
Wow.
There are definitely ways out there that the Canadian government, pushes you to succeed as a business owner, right?
Exactly. Yeah, very true.
And in the digital marketing space, I know that the government, I've seen a couple of grants available,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's all about going out there and checking what's available out there, right?
True. When did you think to start your own agency?
Yeah. So I've been running my agency for 8 months. Like I guess, fairly new to business ownership of an agency.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I have been in the agency space for a little longer. I used to work for another agency based here in Toronto, and I started as a media buyer, which is essentially the person that launches the campaigns, that actually goes into the
yes.
Facebook manager and create the ads and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I grew there to become the digital marketing manager and
Okay.
then the marketing director at one point. It was a fairly sized company. We had over 80 clients at a time.
That's nice.
Yeah, and
Not
then,
bad, of course.
No, it was really nice. I did that for about 2 years. Spent over $4 million on ads, like accumulated between all the accounts that I was running, right? And grew a little team. But then that's when I realized that, as I mentioned earlier, that there are gurus out there and a lot of people
Yes.
that have big talks.
True.
The owner of that agency, so my boss essentially, was scamming people, and a lot of the clients there were not being, treated fairly, right? So,
Oh.
yeah, so I would get really good results for some of my clients, right? And they would tell me, Diego, why did my credit card just get charged if I asked to pause the campaign because we're busy for the next couple of months,
True.
right?
Yes.
So
yes.
that's really when I realized that this does not align with my values, right?
Yes,
Like this
exactly.
is not something that I want to be a part of,
Yeah.
right?
True.
So
But there are many people who do this kind of practices, I guess so.
yeah, and that's why I mentioned earlier that you really have to dig deep and
True.
check, what's going on with that agency. Like,
Agree.
do they have good morals? Like, is it people? They're, good people in general, right? So, yeah, that's basically when I
How
decided.
to find those people? I don't think that there are many people who have this kind of, morality. I have seen that when it comes to business, there are many people who just don't think about morality.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all money. So that's why you gotta be careful with who you go
Exactly,
with,
and that's
right?
why you should have a general knowledge about your own money where you are putting.
Exactly.
That's why having a basic knowledge about the industry and running ad campaigns, it's required when you are giving this to someone else.
Yeah, you
Right?
need to understand because
True.
at the end of the day, it's a trust that you're putting into
True.
someone else, right?
Very true. Very true.
And yeah, just to answer your question back, I mean, that's when I realized that it doesn't align with my values, and I wanted to do right by my clients, right?
All right.
And that's when I decided to start my own and kind of run things the way I think should be run, as opposed to having someone to that controls what
Exactly.
happens,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And how did you come up with this name, Frontload Media?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean,
I personally love this name, honestly. But is there any story behind this name?
not really, honestly.
But
Yeah,
just
I
thought that,
wish-
okay, yeah.
I wish there was a cool story or something, but honestly, I haven't been personally the best with branding and making names.
Okay.
And, so what I did is I just went to a random word generator.
You use that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then Frontload came up, and I'm like, sure.
Oh, this is
I'll
good.
use
Yes,
Frontload.
yes.
Yeah,
That clicks
exactly.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I like it. Frontload Media.
No, but honestly, I love this name.
Thank you.
That's pretty nice, truly.
Yeah. And what Frontload means, then I started searching, to obviously not just be a name, but instead, what does it actually mean? Because I don't want to have the name of my company be
True.
something,
Yeah.
that doesn't align. But what Frontload means is doing all the hard work at first and doing, making sure that everything is done at the beginning, right?
Oh.
So essentially what I made it out to be is that we make sure that all the setup and everything is done correctly at the beginning, all the hard work, right? So that whenever we start launching that campaign and as time goes by,
True.
it just becomes systematically, right?
Yeah.
So it all the hard work is done at the beginning, so everything else is easy cruising.
So that's why it's a front load.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, front load.
Now you have a story.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the services you are providing in Frontload Media?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, there are a couple of services that we focus on in providing, and basically they divide in two major ones, right?
Okay.
Which is lead generation, right? And then also CRM managing. So we have our own CRM where the leads come into afterwards. So, you can actually keep it all organized in terms of your sales. And after someone's interested in your business, after someone becomes a lead, it goes into a CRM system that you can, move that lead as it goes, right? So those are the two major ones, yeah.
Those are the two major services, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
These two services have a major market or not? Because what I think that lead generation or the conversion, there are two things, right? That you run a campaign for generating leads or direct conversion as well.
Yeah.
Right? So which is better?
Yeah.
I mean, or probably it varies industry to industry what you are targeting.
Yeah.
But nowadays people are now, going towards directly conversion because they don't want to put themselves into a hassle that, okay, I get a lead, I call them and then convert those clients.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
And that's a good question. I mean, there's no black and white answer to this, to be honest with you, right? It really depends on the market, as you mentioned, but then also the product or the service that you're selling, right, at the end of the day. Because, it comes down to sales, right?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with selling? And that's a skill that, I was not a salesperson myself, right? And I had to start to learn about, how to sell, et cetera, right? But there's no black and white answer to answer your question. But, it really depends on your sales skills and what you're comfortable with, and then also what you're selling.
Oh, right? Yes. So if you have any salesperson who is good at selling, if you do a lead generation, they can definitely close those deals. Yeah. But if you're not good, if you are only professional, you are a single person, and you are running a campaign, conversion can be a better option for you.
That's right.
Right?
And I mean,
or else hire a salesperson.
Yeah, exactly. Or either hire a salesperson or do it directly to conversion, right?
True.
But when it comes to conversion, it's like, it really, again, it depends what you're selling online, right? But then also, you have to have more marketing out there. To get someone to purchase directly without a human interaction is harder, right? But when it comes to actually having lead generation, there are ways that you can make it more simple for you to close that lead.
Oh,
right?
really?
Definitely. I mean, a lot of lead generation agencies or companies will provide you just with a name, number, email list, right?
True,
and then you gotta go ahead and almost cold calling, right? And figuring out what is spam, what isn't, and that's
a headache.
Definitely. And that's where these conceptions come, like these misconceptions in terms of, lead generation doesn't work or whatever it might be.
Yes.
Right? But what we do different, or the way that it should be done, so it's more simple for you to close that deal, is, first off, making an inbound system, right? So with social media advertising, you're getting people to opt into your ad, right? So they see your ad. It's not cold calling, right?
Yes.
First off.
Okay.
And then also creating a barrier between them seeing the ad and turning into a lead.
Okay.
Right? So what I mean by that, by creating a barrier, is creating qualifications and asking the potential customer with questions before they become a lead, right? Questions that will help you sell them on whatever it is that you're going to sell them.
True.
But then also, any sort of question that they can answer, so it shows you that they're really interested in what you have to purchase.
So that you have a quality leads coming in. The number of leads are low, but those are quality leads, right?
Exactly.
Because they are genuinely interested, and that's why they have answered a couple of questions, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's what we focus on, right? Because what would you rather realistically have
Right.
100 leads and you spent $100, but you only get to close one of those leads, right? Or have 5 leads, you spent $100, but you get to actually close 4 or 3 of those leads.
Oh, that's a huge.
Right? So that's the difference.
That is the difference,
that
yeah.
we make, right? And having those qualification questions in between them seeing your advertising and then them becoming a lead, there's a sweet spot in terms of which questions you ask.
True.
And how many of those questions you ask to have a low cost per lead.
True.
But then also have qualified leads.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yeah.
That's very interesting. Yes. So now the misconception has removed
Exactly.
for lead generation, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. There's
And-
lead generation cold calling.
Yeah.
And then there's lead generation that is, from inbound people that are actually interested in what you have to offer.
Yes,
right?
yes. And now recently, the hype of performance marketing is coming. So can you just explain what is exactly performance marketing and how does it work?
Definitely. I mean, performance marketing is just a term to, really dive deeper into what the data around that marketing is,
Okay.
right? Or that campaign in specific, right?
All right.
So what it means is the sectoring and dividing each campaign that you're going to be launching, and then looking at the numbers and the data of who is clicking on this ad is going deeper than just who is
Okay.
purchasing,
Right.
but then who is clicking on this ad, who is interacting with this ad,
True.
who is engaging and breaking down what are the numbers or what are the percentages,
All right.
from impression to interaction to engagement,
True.
from engagement to click to actually, and then from click to lead, and from lead to sell, right? So
Oh.
it's like that funnel, right?
Wow.
Performance marketing comes down to going back and breaking down all the data, and then using that data obviously to then better your campaign and get those percentages much higher.
True.
right?
All right. Okay, so it's not that different thing, because even sometimes search engine optimization, lead generation, and people who are doing social media marketing, sometimes they do, whenever they are doing lead generating activities, they also tap the same target market who keep on clicking or keep on seeing that, right? So it's similar to that, but majorly people who are buying your product and services, another people will see that who are the buyers, and then they will buy from there. So that is the difference. If I got right or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, main difference between performance marketing and marketing as a whole in this case, right? Would be that in performance marketing, you break down what the data is, and as you mentioned, like who is the people that are doing it, so that you can use that data to better your campaign. And
all right, now I got it right. Right. So for example, now let me just, I think what I said was, I didn't understand rightly. So for example, if this is the product, okay?
Yeah.
And you are buying this product through the marketing. I mean, I have done marketing and you are buying this product. So they will have a data that Diogo has bought this mug or this product.
Yeah.
So similar demographic and similar kind of people, their interest, they will target those, and I will see the campaign, and we both are kind of a similar, and then I will buy this product. So that becomes performance marketing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A campaign specific to buy this product, right? Not as a whole for your brand.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
it's specifically for
this product.
Exactly.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Now I got it right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting. You have many services you are providing in Frontload Media, but majorly your lead generating activities and CRM, right?
Yeah, the CRM.
That's a major.
software,
Are
right?
you targeting a specific industry, or you are actually providing your service to many industries? Because digital marketing is a huge market for every industry, I guess.
I'm comfortable providing services to basically every industry because I can, duplicate the practices that I have with one industry and basically get very similar results for another industry.
True.
As long as I, do my research, etc.
True.
But the way that I have my agency set up right now is that we've been focusing on helping residential contractors generate, consistent business, right? So residential contractors, meaning, renovation companies, landscaping, house improvement companies.
Specifically in Canada or?
Canada and United States.
Canada and United States,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But I've helped in the past. I used to work a lot with mortgage agents, mortgage brokers, as well as real estate agents, right? And my whole plan with the agency is, I know that I can get really good results for the home improvement sector, right? So I want to be able to systemize that and make it almost, automatic. So whenever we get a new partner or a new client to team up with us, we can, duplicate, and we have already every single SOP, so we can put it on them. And then once that's very solid and I have a foundation for that, I can start, opening up for different industries as well, right?
Wow.
Yeah, but I've helped everywhere from mortgage brokers, as I mentioned.
Yes.
Loan providers. I've also helped karate and jiu-jitsu facilities to get more clients, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Soccer teams, etc. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. It's a brilliant thing, Diego. Really, really nice to know that you're providing your services to all other great industries as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, superb. Okay, I would like to know your biggest achievement till date.
Yeah, in terms of, personally or in the business?
In the business first. We are going to talk about your personal things as well. But right now in the business, what is your biggest achievement?
Biggest achievement, in terms of running my own agency so far and the results that I've been able to get clients. I've worked with, HVAC companies. I've worked with fence installation companies and gotten them really good results.
Wow.
But the one that pops up to mind and the best result that I've gotten so far is an HVAC company that I worked with here based in Canada. And, they wanted to start hiring new sales representative to sell heat pumps in Canada, change of heat pumps.
Okay.
So I did some research before launching their campaign. I figured out that there is a grant in Canada called Greener Home Grants.
All right, yes.
Right? So the government's giving grants to change your heat pumps.
Heat pumps, yeah.
So we leveraged that and created ads basically promoting this grant that you can get $7,000 off your heat pump installation, right?
Oh, wow.
So we launched their campaign with a budget of $3,000 to start a month, right? So not that big of a budget. But within the first 60 days, we spent a little over $6,000.
All right.
And they were able to close $400,000 in revenue.
That's a huge amount. It's a good achievement.
Yeah, that's been one of the best results that we've gotten so far.
Wow, that's so nice.
And we kept running their campaign, and right now they're spending around $5,000 a month and closing $700,000 in revenue, not only from the campaign that we have, because now they're with the budget that we're spending, there's people searching them up on Google, etc.
Yeah,
but
right.
When they started at very first, they were generating about $20,000 a month, and we turned that to $200,000 and now $700,000 a month.
Wow.
And closing. That's
nice.
one of the best results that we've gotten so far.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's nothing that makes me happier in terms of, actually providing that result, right?
Yes.
Because as I mentioned, I haven't really been. I have a business partner that focuses more on sales, on the sales side of things. I was never really a salesperson. I was the guy that launched the campaigns and the guy that was behind the scenes actually strategizing most of the actual campaign.
True.
And I just light up whenever I know that the campaign is performing good and I'm
performing
able to
good. Yes.
To deliver
that's the objective.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. The client who has actually put their trust on you, they should get the result.
Totally.
That's true. Yeah. Right. Okay. So Diego, we have actually got so much information about your industry, specifically digital marketing and media industry. Now I would like to know some personal things about you. So
Okay.
would you be okay if I ask you some personal questions?
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, we'll see as you ask them, but yeah, should be good.
Okay. So when did you move to Canada? Can you please just, give a little bit history about you?
Of course, yeah. So I'm originally from Dominican Republic, right? I was born in the Dominican Republic, and I moved to Canada almost 8 years ago now. So
Okay.
in
It's been a long
July
time, yeah.
of 2016 or June of 2016, I can't
All right.
remember. Yeah, I was about, I'm fairly young guy, as you can say.
You are still young.
yeah. I was 15 when I moved to Canada,
Wow.
and it's been 8 years here. I absolutely love Canada. Just the cold is something that's still
I know.
coming from the Dominican.
Yeah. It's a huge difference in weather, right?
Yeah, I
of
mean the
course.
coldest it gets in Dominicans is like 15 degrees at night if you're lucky, right? 15 degrees
Oh.
Celsius. Yeah. So 15 degrees to sometimes minus 40 degrees is very different, right?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Minus 40. Oh. How did you manage? How was your first year?
My first year in Canada. Yeah, it was. I was really excited to move, right?
Okay.
Because it
So
was
you
really.
moved with a family, right?
I moved with
Yeah.
my family. I
True.
moved with my parents and my siblings, and I'm the oldest brother, right? So
Right.
yeah, it was. I had to show an example to my siblings on
Siblings,
resilience in terms of this big change.
Whoa.
But then also I was excited in general. I didn't
Wow.
know much English, so it was a little of a challenge at
Challenge
first.
little bit, yeah. So which
going-
language do you speak there in Dominican
I
Republic?
speak Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you say, hi, how are you in Spanish?
Yeah, totally. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Okay,
And then you
interesting.
would
Yeah.
say, estoy muy bien.
Estoy,
Muy bien. That means if you're good,
estoy
obviously.
muy bien.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
I should learn Spanish now. No,
Yeah.
it is good. So, but after 1 year, you got really slowly and gradually, you just try to manage with English, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I also got really lucky in terms that there's a good Spanish community here. So here in Oakville, right? Like my family came
True,
here to
yeah.
Oakville,
Very true.
and I was able to make some friends that spoke Spanish, right?
Great.
And to this day, we're still
I know, yeah.
very close friends, right? So I got really lucky in that terms.
Very
and
true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
So 8 years have passed. Yeah, I know it's very good that here you get so many communities of your own country. So that becomes a little bit easy
Yeah.
in managing and living here, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great.
And it was a big change from the Dominican Republic.
I
mean,
know. Leaving a country and settling down in another country is definitely a big change.
Yeah, and I saw it was the hardest for my parents, right? Because after their whole life having lived in a different country, and I know
True.
that they're doing it for us, right?
Agree.
So it was really inspirational, and I wasn't able to realize how much it really means, and what they're really doing till not long ago, right? Because
True.
I took it for granted, and wasn't really going the right path at one point in my
Right.
teenage years, whatever it might be. But then I started to understand why we came to this country, and
Yeah.
that's basically, now I want to make my parents proud. So that's,
Yeah, great.
Yeah, of
Interesting. I think they are already proud.
my dad tells me sometimes. It's like-
That's good.
Yeah.
So that's your personal achievement or what?
I mean, that's one of them for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So what is your biggest personal achievement?
My biggest personal achievement.
Girlfriend or what?
No,
No?
no,
Okay. That's a secret.
No, yeah. I mean, not long ago, I moved out of my parents now, so I'm living with some roommates.
Wow.
And I've completely,
Independent?
completely become independent.
Brilliant.
So that's been a good achievement of mine lately. Starting my
Wow.
own business, and
Yes, of
going
course.
totally self-employed, right? That's another big achievement that
You're a risk taker.
totally, yeah.
Totally, yes.
Yeah. For
No,
sure.
amazing. This is something inspiring me actually. That,
Thank you.
Yes, at this young age, when you move independently, self-employed, and also not doing a job. You're doing your own business.
Yeah, exactly.
So that shows that you're a risk taker and you want to live your life on your own terms.
Of course, yeah.
Brilliantly.
Yeah, ever since I was younger, I wanted to, I was the type of kid that was like, I don't want a boss. Like, I want to do my own thing.
Yeah. You want to become your own boss.
Yeah. So
true.
now I'm living that, right?
You're living that dream.
As hard as it is, right? Because it's not easy to be
Not
your
at
own
all,
boss.
not at all.
But yeah, I'm living that right now with all the challenges, and I'm enjoying the whole the journey, right?
Agree. What do you miss the most about Dominican Republic?
My people and my culture.
Of course, yeah.
Right? Like, I'm actually going back in a week and a half, so I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
So how often do you travel there?
I've only been 3 times, and back since I moved here, right? And one of them were to, the paradise side of Dominican. So it's not really like Dominican Republic. It's like I went to Punta Cana, which is like what most people would relate with, which is the beach and like a resort all inclusive, which is like paradise in Dominican. But yeah, to see my family, I've been only twice, and that's really what I miss the most. I mean, my family and my people there.
Your cousins and everybody must be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you like the most about Canada?
What I like the most would be safety, like because it's night and day compared to the Dominican.
Yeah.
Just knowing that my sister, who is 17 years old, and she can go out after 8 p.m. and go on the streets, whatever it might be.
Agree.
And know that there's a very little chance that something will happen to her. Is that peace of mind?
That peace of mind, yeah,
is extremely important. But then also how much opportunities there are here in Canada, right? Like that would be the second thing that I love the most here. Yeah,
that's very nice. That's so true.
Because I'm not sure that I would have been able to. I'm definitely, I wouldn't have been where I'm at today if I still lived in the Dominican, right? Like,
actually, yeah.
Just the opportunities that you have here, right? With all the people and, how advanced the country is,
True, yeah. But definitely inspiring that when you decide to do something, you got to do something and you have done that.
Yeah.
So that is inspiring that you're living your dream.
Yeah.
It's super. Okay, so if any of us or any of you has any question related to his profession, if you want digital marketing services through Diego, Frontload Media, you can contact him, and I'm putting all details in the description of our YouTube video so that you can directly contact him. And if they have any question, they will directly contact you.
Definitely.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm more than happy to answer any
we
questions.
are still forgetting one of the rapid fire round which we do usually in all our podcasts.
Okay.
So rapid fire is something like I'm going to ask you a question and you have to answer in only one statement. Or yes or no. That's it. Okay? So you are not going to give me any kind of explanation that why you are doing it or why you are not doing it.
All right.
Would you be ready with this?
Yeah, hit me with it, yeah.
Okay, so my first question is Canada or Dominican Republic? Where would you prefer to live?
Prefer to live Canada, yes.
Okay, why?
It's better. To live,
yeah, only in one statement. Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
okay,
statement.
Freelancing work or running an agency?
Depends. I mean,
no. Only one statement, yes or no, or freelancing or running an agency?
Running an agency.
Okay, why?
Because that's what I'm doing.
That's why you want to go with that.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now tell me 3 major tools which help people in digital marketing.
3 major tools to help people in digital marketing?
True.
Okay, so first one would be YouTube, just to learn digital marketing.
That's good.
Second one would be Facebook ads.
Okay.
So creating Facebook ads, and then also a CRM system.
All right. So these 3 are major tools.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. Now quickly choose between these 2. What do you prefer, email or chat?
Chat.
Chat.
Yes.
Okay, because it's quick, right?
Yeah, it's more simple.
Money or fame?
Money.
Money, no fame?
No fame.
Oh, wow, that's great. Work from home or work from office?
Office.
Office.
Yes.
Oh.
Surprisingly.
Oh, yes. Interesting. Okay, very nice. And how do you stay updated in your field?
Just with YouTube, as I mentioned, and yeah, YouTube would be the rapid answer. Yeah.
That's just because one statement only, you just have to say, okay, YouTube only. Yeah, that's
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, just the last question. What advice would you like to give to people who want to pursue their career in this industry?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to run digital marketing agency or if they want to come as a freelancer into this industry, what advice would you like to give them?
The number one advice that I would give in any career, even marketing or whatever it might be, is just to keep going and never give up. I mean, that's the advice that I take on myself, right?
That's true.
To just consistently put in that work, because if you keep going, you'll definitely see the results, right?
Yes,
so
okay.
just keep learning, keep putting out work, and just keep going.
Yeah, it's a huge market. Definitely you are going to get if you keep persistency, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's amazing, Diego. I'm super glad that we had this discussion, and I'm sure our viewers are also so happy after knowing your useful tips and tricks about this industry.
Yeah.
And they are surely going to contact you. So you can just give reference that, okay, through Rinkal's video, I'm contacting you, so that it will be easier for him to know
sure.
that, okay, because of this video, he is getting this referral. All right?
I really appreciate that, Rinkal. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Diego, for coming, and I'm wishing you all the best for your business and your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Same for you.